this qualifications fraud on the continent? And why do certain individuals in society fake their qualifications? And which human resources criteria to use to verify qualifications? And what prompted the launch of the SADC Qualifications Framework? What time is it? It's question time. And welcome to the show. My name is Nzimande. Earlier this year, Minister of Higher Education and Training, Dr. Nzimande, said serious actions will be taken against perpetrators of fraudulent qualifications. This would include prosecuting and publicly naming and shaming those caught doing so through the Register of Fraudulent Qualifications. Nzimande says fake qualifications pose a grave danger to the credibility of the country's education system. Over the last few years, South Africa has had cases where public figures, some already in top positions, were exposed for having false qualifications. To enhance the movement of learners and workers across the region, the SADC Qualifications Framework was launched last month. It enables member countries to benchmark their qualifications against the regional framework. To facilitate verification of qualifications, member states decided to create the SADC Qualifications Verifications Network. But are SADC countries well equipped to win the fight against qualifications fraud? We are live, therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. We'll be taking your comments and questions there. But my guest today, Joe Samuels, is the Chief Executive Officer at the South African Qualifications Authority. Dr. Samuels, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
This framework that has been launched says it wants to ensure that there's free movement of both learners or students and professionals in the region, right? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, let me just give some background that this decision to establish a SADC Qualifications Framework was taken in 2011,
yes,
by the Council of Ministers.
Sure.
So it is a decision that was taken some time ago. So what we have done, the Technical Committee on Certification and Accreditation was established by the SADC Secretariat, that's based in Botswana. And so this TCCA, as we call it, is now in charge of trying to put this thing in place. There are three things that we are doing. Firstly, what we are wanting to do is to get the countries in the 15 member states to align their qualification frameworks or the qualification systems to the SADC Qualifications Framework. 1, 2, we also want to make sure that when particular qualifications are offered in the countries, that the quality assurance mechanisms must be in place so that we can trust the qualifications coming out of the countries. And then thirdly, we've set up the SADC Qualifications Verification Network. And that network, which is a group of trusted people that does verification in the various countries, can liaise with each other to make sure that genuine qualifications can move, from country to country.
So what does it mean? I want us to put it very plainly here. So it means if I graduated from the University of Zimbabwe, for instance, I'm looking for a job in South Africa, you would be able to verify that indeed this individual is a genuine graduate from the University of Zimbabwe or University of Swaziland?
The answer is absolutely yes, and in fact we have got contacts now with people in Zimbabwe that does knows and understands and can verify that this qualification is genuine. Furthermore, that in the past what used to happen is that it took a long time for that communication to happen.
Yes.
Now people know each other, they've met each other, we made sure that people know who's working in what particular area, so it works quicker, because we used to do it, now it is quicker, it is faster, and it allows better movement in that way.
Is there a problem with qualifications from other countries here in South Africa, and perhaps are other countries also experiencing problems with South African qualifications in the region? Is there an influx of professors and doctors from some of these institutions?
Well, look, the most numerous qualifications that we've got in the world and in the SADC region is the school leaving certificates. So in other words, I think in South Africa we call them as matric certificates.
Yeah.
So in terms of the NQF, it's level 4. So that's the most numerous qualifications that we get. And invariably, if you have the most numerous, you also find that the most fake qualifications, is at the school leaving level. So that is what we have found. What we find. Then, if you go up then the ladder, so if you have bachelor's degrees, honors degrees, master's degrees, and PhDs,
yes,
we find that as the qualifications go up those particular levels, the number of fraudulent qualifications also reduces, because very few people have got those qualifications going up. But in general, the problem of fraudulent qualifications is not a SADC problem, it's not a South African problem, it's a worldwide problem. Okay. And so, for example, one of the things that the organization that I work for, SAQUA, is that we get qualifications from all parts of the world. And qualifications in all parts of the world, whether they come from Europe, whether they come from the United States and so on, we find that there are fraudulent qualifications in there. So it is not only a South African problem or a SADC problem.
But how rife is this?
Look, where you have good systems in place, people don't take the chance. But if you don't have systems in place, that is when people take the chance. For example, over the last year, we have found very few qualifications that has been fraudulent that came to us. Because people know when they apply to SAQUA, what will happen is that their qualifications are going to be verified. And when we say yes, the qualification is fraudulent, it is. And if we say no, it is not fraudulent, then it is not. So we do the job very, very thoroughly. Because we understand, you see, if we give the wrong information, it actually affects a person's life now, in a major way.
Now, how does it affect a graduate who comes from Swaziland or somebody who studied in Swaziland or Lesotho or Zimbabwe or Zambia coming into the South African system? There are instances where they would say, well, we don't have matric in our countries, or whichever countries they have, but you do have this school leaving certificate. School leaving certificate, yes. Right? Do we recognize those as South Africa?
Yes. Look, we have established in South Africa the National Qualifications Framework, and we've got these different levels. We've got 10 levels.
Yeah.
So what we do is, if a person comes from Swaziland, for example, we would look at the qualification and firstly say, is it a genuine qualification?
Yeah.
Then once we've established that, then what we do is then say, where does it fit in on our National Qualifications Framework?
Okay.
And if it's a school leaving certificate, invariably it's at level 4. If it's a degree, it will be at level 7. If it's a master's degree, it will be at level 8. And if it's a PhD, it will be at level 10. So in that way, we know exactly where it fits in on our system. We give people a certificate, and then they can take that to the employer, or they can take it to an institution of higher learning, for them to then move forward.
Now, why are our heroes and veterans of the struggle experiencing problems in South Africa? Because some studied in Swaziland, some studied wherever in the SADC region or on the continent or all over the world. Yet, when they apply for jobs, they are required to produce certificates which it is clear they wouldn't have because they didn't study here in South Africa, but they've got other qualifications.
Well, I'm not too sure about that, but if they come, because my organization, SAQUA, part of our mandate is to evaluate foreign qualifications. So if the veterans come and they apply, to us and so on, we'll be able to then do what I have described that we will do with every foreign qualification.
Tabisile, you are in Mpumalanga, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome, Tabisile.
Yes. I wanted to ask you about qualification. I was doing my qualification of a call center, a diploma in FADC College in Pietermaritzburg. But the qualification they said is hello?
Yes, go ahead, Tabisile.
Yes. My qualification is only working in India, not in South Africa. I just wanted to ask how come that happened, because they said that if we want to register with SACA in South Africa, we must do a file and submit to SACA, but we did the file, but we didn't get our qualification.
So where did you study? Did you study in India?
No, here in South Africa, Pietermaritzburg, SADC. But we were doing our course under Moses Kotane.
Under Moses Kotane?
Yes, but in FADC in Kunguzovu.
Okay, wait, Tabisile. The course you're doing, you did this here in South Africa? Tabisile?
Yes.
I'm saying the course that you're saying you studied everything here in South Africa. It's at an FET college.
Yes, in FET, but in FET they said we are doing under a Moses Kotane institution, but in FET in Pietermaritzburg.
Just hold, please just talk to her.
Tabisile, so what did you study?
Hello.
What qualification did you study?
The call center.
Oh, so you studied the call center diploma.
I can hear you, Walter.
Okay, Tabisile, you need to reduce the volume of your television set in order for us to hear you properly.
But can I say, Paul, I think it's probably better that I give my contact details, and Tabisile can contact us and we can assist her.
For how long were you studying this course, Tabisile?
2 years.
So after 2 years, you are told that the course is only recognized in India.
Yes.
Why India out of all places?
I don't know why India, because they said we must do the file so that our qualification will be recognized here in South Africa, because if we didn't do that file, our qualification will only recognize in India.
Who offered the course? Who was offering the course?
Moses Kotane. They said it's a Moses Kotane institution. They said it's a bursary of the call center.
Okay, thanks, Tabisile.
Well, I think it's probably better that Tabisile contacts us.
Yes.
And then, we will investigate and then try to see what we can do about it.
Is this common?
No, I think it's a very strange call. It's the first time that I hear that somebody studies here and then that particular course is only recognized in another country. It is completely...
and it says
it
was an FET.
Yeah.
Okay. We're taking a quick break. When we return, we'll continue this discussion, and I still want to pursue the former exiles issue, because I know of a lot of comrades who can't get jobs today because they are told you don't have metric.
This distinguished CEO would say the best way to enjoy a brandy is whilst wearing diamond-encrusted lamb's wool socks, accompanied by
the smell of fresh money. Woo!
Really? Sock diamonds? Well, we'd say a brandy enjoyed with last night's pizza works just as well. Tops at Spa. Good brandy, good advice, no blingy socks.
This week, the World Economic Forum on Africa will convene leaders from business, government and civil society right here in Durban from the 3rd to the 5th of May. We'll bring you world-class analysis from top newsmakers across the continent right here on SABC News.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Today we're talking qualifications. Joe Samuels is the CEO at South African Qualifications Authority, and he joins us in studio. And we really would like to hear from you as our viewers there. What do you think? Let's see what the Twitter handle is saying. Ricardo Peter says, how can tertiary qualifications be fraudulent? Well, I think they can be. Zolisiga Klangli. But we are being failed by institutions like Public Service Commission and should be assisted in monitoring, or to monitor and verify, I guess. Gudani Planner Sakwa is a useless entity. People are still faking qualifications and some open illegal schools. They must work with SAPS and the judiciary. Lerato, you are on the line. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, my name is Lerato.
Yes, Lerato, go ahead.
Okay, I studied educare in college, Krugersdorp. And then I did M6, I finished it. So I'm waiting for my diploma. And I went to UNISA to apply for degree. And then they told me that it's not recognized. I must study it again with UNISA.
After how many years?
3 years.
So you must start from scratch?
Yes, that's what they told me. So why is this course existing if you're going to do it again?
Okay, yes. Why is it offered not only at UNISA, if other people who are offering it fraudulently then?
Well, I don't think when I hear that it's a fraudulent qualification. You see, the kind of point that she raises there has got to do with, the qualification is offered at one particular place, but it's not recognized in another one.
Yeah.
Now, we get cases like that, and again, what I would like to suggest is that she gets in touch with us in the office, and then we'll be able to pursue the matter, because UNISA also has got what is called the recognition of prior learning policy, and many people go, there and so on, that have got experience, and then UNISA takes them through a process where their qualifications can be recognized. So it is a matter certainly that I think we will be able to take up.
Now, this fraudulent qualifications, right? Let's just focus a little bit at university level. Have you developed systems that whoever the employer may be are able to check with you to say, we want to hire Mpo. He says he is a TEFLOP graduate. Are you able to tell us if this is true?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should, deal with it in this way, that any private institution, can ask SAQA to verify a qualification, and we do that routinely. In actual fact, we verify the qualifications of all government employees, in particular high-level posts and so on. And one of the things that you would notice is that over the last number of years, there's been very few high-level government employees that there is this problem around fraudulent qualifications. What we do see is that a lot of the fraudulent things that have been exposed comes from state-owned enterprises or people sitting on boards. Now that is a particular area now that the Minister of Education has said that all of those qualifications must come via SAQA. So from that point of view, we are actually doing a very good job.
Okay.
The other point I want to make is when it comes to colleges, now there are two things that colleges must do. and if we talk about colleges and so on, they must register with the Provincial Department of Education, and then they must also be accredited and so on. And it is that kind of process, and we do work, in fact, with SAPS to deal with a number of these colleges that are bogus.
Callisto, you are in the Eastern Cape.
Yes. How are you, Mpo?
I'm well, Putu. Yes.
Hey, Mpo, I want to ask you the frequency, or I've got a question here.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, my question is, why is it that whenever we are calling SAQA using the numbers that are there in the internet and the other numbers that are available in the public domain, the calls are not picked at all? And it's really time wasting, and you are charged whenever you are making those calls.
Correct.
Why are the calls not being picked up?
Oh, yeah?
Yes. In actual fact, Paul, we do get quite a lot of calls. So there's a high call volume. And sometimes what happens is that people wait in the queue and then they drop the phone and so on. What the callers can do is to send us an SMS or send us an email, and then we will respond and then call them back.
Well, on the other hand, people are saying, you know what, you go to these universities and wherever you study, you come back, you're still unemployed. Maybe the best way is to get Tastringo somewhere, a location who will be able to assist you with a certificate.
Well, can I just say what the statistics is saying, that when people have done a degree, a 3-year degree and so on, that the chance that we'll get a job is very, very high. In actual fact, the Statistician General was saying that the unemployment rate is in the region of about 2% of people who have got degrees. It is for people lower down that have got other qualifications, like there's a high number of people who have got school living certificates that's unemployed, but it is not people who have got degrees. So that is what, coming from the Statistician General.
Okay, and perhaps just, is it men or women who are, where this problem of fraudulent qualifications is more prevalent?
Well, we haven't done an analysis to say it is more men or more women, but what we have done is that we have released a study at the beginning of the year. It's called the NLRD series report, and in that report we are saying that over the last 20 years, that the number of people who have achieved qualifications in South Africa has grown year on year with about 4%. So in other words, the number of people who are qualified over the last 20 years have been increasing dramatically.
Where do they find you?
Well, firstly, our website is www.saqua.org.za, and then people can phone the number 0860 111 673.
Just repeat the number again.
0860 111 673.
Okay. Well, we wish you all the best there. Let's hope you get all those fraudsters who are masquerading as qualified personnel.
Well, we certainly do that, and as I've already said, that we can already see a decrease in the number of cases that we are dealing with.
Do people get arrested?
They do.
Okay. Convictions?
Yes.
You've secured some?
We've secured some, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me and the entire crew, Nzimande nabo magondo ni na zinderano. I've a hot.